Hello guys from Plant Reviews. Today, 3rd of May, so we are in mid-spring in England, Kent, and now we'll talk about Bellevalia romana. Bellevalia romana, the Roman squill, is a relative of other squills and of the grape hyacinths in the family Asparagaceae. The similarity to the grape hyacinth, as you can see, is actually on the. You can see actually the flowers clustered in a raceme, even if the flowers are not goblet-like, they are much more open. This is a perennial, a bulbous plant that comes from the central part of the Mediterranean, mainly from south of France, Italy, Malta, Greece, and some parts of the North Africa, as well as Croatia and other countries on the East Adriatic coast. The plant can be is sold in autumn from some garden centers, not many garden centers. I found this particular bulbs in one garden center, but you can buy it easier online. The plant grows ideally in full sun or partial shade, as I have here in the front of the border. It has leaves very similar to the grape hyacinth, quite long, as you can see, and the flowers are held on medium tall stems. They are about 15-20 centimeters far from the ground. As you can see, the flower is not particularly colorful. It's quite elegant. It's like creamy white with purple anthers. That while the fading flowers go about brownish. It is supposed to be slightly fragrant. However, I can't detect really any fragrance today. Anyway, it's a cloudy day, so possibly it's not as fragrant as usual. Also, in some Bellevalias, the raceme, where the flowers are from, is very dark, quite purple. Here on this plant, you can see just a slightly darker tone in the raceme, but the most of the raceme is green. The flower stem is just a little bit darker green where the flowers are. This is, well, I'll show you basically how the plant look like in a border. So as you can see, the plant, I have it under some roses and lilies, so it is in at the front border, so it still receive partial shade. Anyway, you could hardly differentiate these small flowers from flowers of common weeds, really. As you can see, they are just slightly bigger. I would say this is not a plant I would recommend for a border of the garden. I think the flowers are very small. They are not grouped in big clusters, like for example grape hyacinth, and the color surely doesn't is not as strong as the grape, most of the grape hyacinth anyway. The flower count also is much smaller. About I have here about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 flowers, while usually in the racemes of grape hyacinth they can be even like 20, 25, 30, and even more. And also grape hyacinths, even if still the fragrance cannot be detected around the garden usually, if you are close to the flower you can definitely smell fragrance in most of the grape hyacinth. So really, unless you have a thing for white flowers, really it is elegant, because I like a lot these purple anthers contrasting the white flowers, but it is so small that really I wouldn't buy this plant again. This is a fully hardy perennial anyway. It tends to naturalize quite easily, like a grape hyacinth, and can also be used as a cut flower, even if obviously for a very small vase. As most bulbs, it needs well-drained soil, full sun to partial shade, and it blooms from mid to late spring. Another feature I really don't like in this flower is that the spent flowers tend to go brownish, so really they are not very pleasant to see. While a grape hyacinth, usually after blooming, they come in, they produce spikes of like green seed pods developing, so they are actually nice even in shape, not only in colors when they are in bloom. So definitely, in my opinion, this is well, a plant that this is my personal opinion that I wouldn't put in a garden. So I would have rather saved my money to buy some other bulbs, like for example some more grape hyacinths or other strongly colored flowers, and that produce also bigger flowers. This plant is considered endangered in some areas, for example in Slovenia and in Malta. However, it is a plant that is usually often available from online nurseries, not much in garden centers. So you shouldn't have any difficulty in finding it online if you like this flower. Hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.